What's up, YouTube? It's Carolina Calvin coming back to you with another video, and welcome to my review of the Black Panther. Now, there will be spoilers in this video just because I watched the movie not too long ago, which, so many people have already done reviews. I've seen reviews as early as Wednesday, for people that got to watch the movie early. So you've had 4 days, and I'm pretty sure reviews came out today. So I'm going to do spoilers. I don't have the guys here, but I will probably have them here later just because there were probably things I missed in the movie in terms of Easter eggs. So I'm probably going to get their thoughts sometime next week about the movie. We'll do a video about it. But as usual with my reviews, get into the things that I did like, things I didn't like, and of course looking into the future of, I'll say specifically, the Black Panther movies more so than just talking about the entire universe. I can save that for a different video. But the story is, the movie is directed by Ryan Coogler, who's also, he also did Creed, which is amazing, by the way. And Fruitvale Station, if you haven't seen those by the way star Michael B. Jordan, who's also in this movie, is Eric Killmonger. I'll get into his performance as well. But the story kind of, one thing I like about this movie is it feels disconnected from, as a solo movie, because that's something that the MCU's kind of had issues with specifically solo movies. You understand the team up ones or whatever. With the solo movies, they feel as though they don't stand by themselves. Now, obviously, this is connected. His whole father's death is a big part of his motivations in Civil War. So you understand it to that, at that point, obviously, that was his connection. That was our introduction to the Black Panther character. Chadwick Boseman was great. I remember coming into it even before Civil War. I wasn't too sure because you can kick me now. I didn't see a bunch of movies about with him in it. So like I said, you can kick me now, but this dude's great as Black Panther. But to get into the story, it's unofficially he was king in Civil War when his father was killed. But officially he becomes king, and that's really the first part of the movie, is him going through all the ceremonies. You even see him take the hearts. You see him kind of. It was a ceremonial battle where someone could challenge him for his kingship and the title of Black Panther. So you see all this, and I thought the movie was well shot. It was well shot, and I like that. You saw this movie is a world building movie. It is showing the world of Wakanda. A lot of people haven't read the comics, and obviously we haven't seen it live action. Now that you really get to see it, and it was done very well. It was done very well. The shots were great. The CG for the most part was great. The Black Panther suit looked good. He had the one that he had in Civil War at the beginning of the movie. Then of course his sister, she's great, by the way. His sister makes all the tech, and she's one of the characters. She doesn't have to be. She doesn't have to do all the fighting. She makes all the tech. She made the new suit. She made a lot of the tech that everyone in Wakanda uses. She's great, and her interactions with her brother, were amazing. And the casting. That's probably the best thing before I even tell you story bits. And obviously, I'm going to bounce around to different things, but the casting was so good. I can't think of one weak one. And that's something that I always criticize, that, even if it was a movie I liked, there was probably a casting choice that I probably had an issue with. Not in this. Michael B. Jordan was great. And I'm sorry, I may mess up some people's names. Okay, I'm probably not going to say it. The lady that played Michonne in The Walking Dead, I at least know that. I know her name, but I don't want to butcher it. She played pretty much the general of pretty much the Black Panthers, the King's personal guard. That personal guard is called Adora Mejai. I know that from the comics, and they're trained from birth. They all have their head shaved warriors. They're supposed to protect and give their life for the king. I thought she was great. The guy that played Claw, which there's one problem. I'll get into one of the things when I talk about things I didn't like. But the guy that played Claw, what's his name? Andy Serkis. he was great. You saw him in Age of Ultron. He did a really good job. The guy from Get Out, he was great. He kind of brought in, okay, I kind of question what Wakanda's been doing for this long. It was, I mean, Angela Bassett was in here. She even had the white hair, and that was clearly a Storm tease. People wanted her to play Storm way back in the day, but of course they had ended up getting Halle Berry. She was great. Lupita Nyong'o, she was good. I thought the entire cast, Forrest Whitaker was in here. The entire cast was really good. Great picks for the cast. And coming into it, I didn't have a problem with anyone in the cast. Now, I'll be honest, I was a little bit skeptical about Michael B. Jordan. And I don't know why, because he, like I said, I brought up Creed. I brought up Fruitvale Station. He was great. Obviously, every actor has blemishes. Fantastic Four was bad, but it was a poorly written movie made by hacks. This guy, it was mainly him being the villain, and he really pulled this off. He really pulled it off as a villain, not in the movie as much, but you understand why once you see the story. Now, of course, after he goes through all the official things with becoming king and everything, they find out that there's still technology that was stolen a long time ago. They realize that a guy that's constantly been able to elude them and Ulysses Claw, he's one of the ones selling it. So they go to Korea. It's a great scene. It's, probably the second longest action scene in the movie outside of the ending. And of course, they ended up capturing him. And this is where you first see Eric Killmonger, Michael B. Jordan's character, first get in contact with T'Challa. And he saw the ring, which it leads into another side story where he recognizes that ring is of the royal family. So he questions Forrest Whitaker character, who's Zuri by the name, by the way, and he soon learns that, okay, this guy was of Wakanda. His dad, which is T'Challa's uncle, was killed by his father. So it really made T'Challa question it really made him question his father, because before he thought his father was the perfect man, the perfect king, then he really questioned him. And you can even see, he had a dream sequence which came later in the movie where he really questioned his father. He questioned all his ancestors on why do they handle the thing, why do they run Wakanda the way they do. And Wakanda's always ran as this kind of isolated nation. They don't get involved with anything dealing with other nations, no matter how much they suffer. Only when it will directly affect them is when they get involved. And you really see T'Challa question it. At the beginning, he really didn't. But as you see, everything isn't as black and white as he once thought it was. There are some grays there. And, there were times where Wakanda probably could help out a nation who really needed it, and they, turned a blind eye. So you can really see him battling with that, even questioning his decisions his father made. And this movie is just as much about Black Panther as, it's just as much about T'Challa as it is the Black Panther character. We knew Black Panther's a badass. He gets into that suit, he's kicking ass. All the cool gadgets, the suit, I already brought up. The suit's great. But that was the whole motivation behind Killmonger's kind of single-mindedness. He's willing to shoot anyone. He had a girlfriend or lover, whoever that was, killed her. He had like a single-mindedness with, one, getting revenge for his father's death because he mentioned the Panther clause, and two, kind of turning Wakanda into a superpower, which they already are, but just no one knows they exist. Everyone thinks it's like a farm, it's a farmer nation, third world country. But he wants to turn them into a superpower by using the vibranium to take over other places. And when he first gets there, and I'm not going to tell you how he got into it, got into the nation to talk to the king. That's actually one of my bad things, believe it or not. Not too bad, but it's a question that I actually have. And like I said, that was his whole motivation, was to get revenge and to turn Wakanda into a superpower. He goes, and rightfully so, he's allowed to challenge the king because of him being of royal blood. Now in the comics, obviously there are things that are changed. Even the whole origin of Black Panther in the MCU is obviously changed. In the comics, T'Chaka was Black Panther, who he ended up getting killed, and T'Challa took his place, by becoming Black Panther and king. Because whoever's king is Black Panther. And they followed this in this movie, but it was just at that point with Civil War, that was the biggest difference. That T'Challa was already Black Panther, but he wasn't king. But they seem to follow that in the movie, for some reason. So I always wondered, because we knew his father became Black Panther just because we saw it, in the flashback dealing with all of Killmonger's backstory. Well, this movie's backstory. In the comics, he is of Wakanda. His family got exiled, but he's not of the royal family or whatever. But he is a big Black Panther villain, so they picked a really good one. But that story was, to me, was the surprise. I was wondering what they were gonna do with the Killmonger story, and I thought, what they did pick was really good, because you had points in the movie where I not necessarily me, but I can see why I've seen different reviews, why people could be kind of conflicted in, Wakanda has all this stuff, why aren't they helping others? And that was whole Eric Killmonger. Obviously, he went about it in a very evil and brutal way, by he didn't care about who he killed or whatnot. But that kind of brought it, another topic up. Why weren't we helping people? And that's the same. What's the guy's name from Get Out? I can't remember his name. But that was the same thing he was preaching as well. Why aren't we out doing stuff? Why aren't we, kind of helping these other countries? So it kind of had people conflicted from what I saw reviews of it, and that's good. Civil War had the exact same aspect, and that's what made that movie great as well. But they have the ceremonial fight. Kind of getting back to what I was talking about. They have the ceremonial fight. T'Challa loses. So Eric Killmonger's, he becomes king of Wakanda, and he's going to decide to spread vibranium out to multiple superpowers in his attempt to take over. Come to find out, T'Challa's not dead. Huge fight ensues at the end. Different clans. Different clans are fighting. Dora Milaje, they're fighting Killmonger. He has his own Black Panther suit. It's really good. It ends up being pretty much T'Challa versus Killmonger, and I would say in the scene was wow, you wanted the bad guy to lose, you wanted the bad guy to die, but they made it a moment. I can definitely tell you that they made it a moment, and he had a thing at the end where he was talking about, my father always told me that Wakanda was beautiful. Then he was it was just nothing more than a fairy tale. And you can tell T'Challa was he was really conflicted. And then in the very next scene, he shows him, kind of what his father was talking about. And T'Challa asks him, we can save you. And he said, what, so you can lock me in chains? No, I won't be a slave. Then he pulled a knife out and he died. So it was you could tell T'Challa was really conflicted, because this is a guy, he told his father, we created this monster. And we could have took him back. We created this monster so long ago. But, this, like I said, it was one of the reasons why he had conflict with his father. He was even believing his father wasn't a good man. So I think the story was really good. And I heard people talking about wasn't enough action. It was enough action. But the world building and them giving not only was Michael B. Jordan's acting was great. He had the scene when he was in the throne room, and you could see the anger in his face. So the facial expressions, like I said, along with the acting, it was great. Martin Freeman, Everett, he played the one of like two main white guys that was in the movie outside of Ulysses Claw. They were all great. The story was great, and this is a really good movie that I may go back and watch the second time. Things I didn't like, I'll get into those really quickly. It's actually not a lot. There were moments where kind of like the CG didn't look as good. You could tell with you could see you could tell it was green screen. It didn't look as good. I thought the CG for the most part was really good with the way the suit looks. Even the final battle, which I'm pretty sure that was the hardest thing to do, just because guys are flipping around. They're falling down pretty much a long cave where they mine the vibranium. So I'm pretty sure that was the most difficult scene to do, and I thought they did a solid job, with that particular scene. But kind of like one of my favorite ones where it kind of goes into the dream sequence the first time. And I'm talking about things like, damn it. Well, I'll be real quick. Where you saw the Aurora Borealis and you saw the Panther, that was really good CG. But yeah, there was some scenes where you could tell the green screen, it didn't look as good, and you could tell it was really green screen. So in terms of visuals, that's probably the one I can definitely point out as being a negative for me. Also, this is probably my only other one. But Ulysses Claw being killed, I don't know about that one. I thought his character should have survived. I thought they should have, I guess, take him as a prisoner. That's how I thought it should have went. Instead of just killing the character off, because you just killed off two villains. I don't know about killing his character off. That was, to me, the biggest one, was killing him off. And obviously he's clearly dead. I really doubt that he comes back in any way. So I think that was the biggest negative for me, was killing off that character. Pretty much killing off two villains. Eric Killmonger was going to get killed off. But Claw, I didn't necessarily like that one. But overall, this movie was great. And obviously I have no bias. As you see me talking about on Twitter, I have no bias. I'm a comic guy. I've read Black Panther way before they even thought about this movie. And those are great. I always thought he was a good character. He wasn't a character that was that was shown a lot. Obviously, he was in like Avengers. His first showing was in Fantastic Four. He helped them out. Well, actually, he came out as a villain at first. Was he? Yeah, I believe he came out as a villain at first. Then he started helping out Fantastic Four. That was way back when. But I always thought he was a good character. What they're gonna do in the future, because they have the rights to the mutants, I want to see something with Storm. I mean, I know that's kind of far fetched, and no one's probably brought that up in any videos talking about the future of Black Panther. I want to see something with Storm. Also, I don't know about the rankings. I would have to really look back at my rankings where I rank this, but it ranks actually high. It ranks actually really high. Probably right outside the top 5. And I'm being serious. Right outside the top 5. Maybe if I go back and look at it, could possibly move in there, but I doubt that. What do I grade this movie? At 8.5. I think in terms of enjoyment in a comic movie, let's say Marvel Cinematic Universe, because last year was Logan. Marvel Cinematic Universe, ever since really Doctor Strange, I have enjoyed a Marvel Cinematic Universe movie this much. So, really good. But let me know what you think down in the comment section. Oh, of course, ending scene, Winter Soldier. We knew he was there the whole time. His sister actually mentions him earlier in the movie. If you pay attention, she actually mentions him early in the movie, and we see he's awake. So, obviously, Infinity War's coming up soon. He's going to be there. But let me know what you think down in the comment section. Like this video, hit that thumbs up button, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.